So Moses Itauma versus Dillian Whyte has officially been made official for August 16th, 2025. And yeah, it's a big heavyweight scrap in my opinion. It's a big fight for British heavyweight boxing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I mean, we've got the up-and-comer in Moses Itauma and the veteran of the game, the drug cheat, Dillian, the body snatcher, Whyte. Look, I'm hyped. I'm excited, but a big question though, which I feel like people aren't talking enough about is this is a main event of a Saudi card in Riyadh. Really though, it's not. Well, it is main event. It is, but is it worthy of being a main event in Riyadh? No. That's the big thing in my opinion. It's not, and I feel like that's the thing which I'm thinking of here. This isn't a main event worthy fight. Dillian Whyte, he's been out for God knows how long. There's not really any hype around his name right now. For Moses Itauma, there's a lot of hype around his name, but he's not fully established yet. That's the thing. He's not fully established yet. This is a massive fight. It's a very good and intriguing fight, but in my opinion, this isn't a main event. The card is very good. We got people, on the undercard, we got people like Nick Bull versus Sam Goodman, Anthony Kakache versus Raymond Ford. That's a fantastic fight. And another one, Filip Ergovic versus David Adelaide, which is a big mismatch, if I'm being completely honest. But look, Itauma and Whyte's a big fight. But it's a good co-main event. Like, they could have done this as, like, co-main event to Usyk and Dubois. Like, that's a bloody good co-main event for that, in my opinion. It's not a main event fight. I feel like I look at this card that's been announced, and it's like, yeah, we got some really good fights on it. But there's something missing from it, and that's a proper main event. That's my opinion. The thing missing from this card is a proper main event. We just haven't got that in this Itauma Whyte fight. I mean, again, it's heavyweights. Everyone's going to be hyped up. But I feel like, there's nothing on the line for it. And, that's something which I think takes a bit out of it. And, they've got this card announced and all that. But where's everything going on with Usyk Dubois undercard? Like, what's going on with all of that? Like, this has already been announced, and they could have added an extra big fight to it, in my opinion, with a big other main event with Itauma and Dillian Whyte, co-headliner or just a co-main event. That's what they should have done, in my opinion. As excited for this as I am, it feels like there is something missing from this card. But look, Itauma versus Whyte's an intriguing fight because you've got Itauma, who's a very good prospect right now, probably the biggest prospect in boxing. He's not just a very good prospect, he's the biggest talent in boxing. Prospects in boxing, and he's a heavyweight, which completes this whole package as well. And, you've got someone like Dillian Whyte, who's going to be a massive test for Itauma. He's not, I say it's massive test. He's not going to be a test. Like, Dillian Whyte's someone who's coming to win. That's the reality here. I see way too many people as well saying that Moses Itauma's going to wipe Dillian Whyte out. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. We don't even fully know the level of Moses Itauma yet. Is he at that level? We don't know. But people say, "Oh, it's so easy for Moses Itauma." Like, it's not. It's not. I mean, who's going to be favourite to win? Moses Itauma. I reckon the bookies are actually going to have Dillian Whyte as probably 4-1, 5-1 underdog or something. When that shouldn't really be the case at all, in my opinion. It really shouldn't be. I mean, Dillian Whyte's been looking awful lately, but he's still a top heavyweight who's got a better resume than Moses Itauma, who's more experienced than Moses Itauma, who's been in there, who's so far his power is proven throughout the heavyweight division. Moses Itauma's is not. Skill for skill, if you look at it, though, people might say that, people will say that Moses Itauma's more skilled than Dillian Whyte. But when it's got that grit and someone who's been in the deep waters many, many times before, that's Dillian Whyte. Has Moser the Itauma? No. I mean, we've never seen Moser the Itauma's chin be tested before. Never, ever, ever has it been tested. Dillian Whyte's going to test that chin, and if Dillian Whyte can land on that chin of Moser the Itauma, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen? So people say, no, he's just going to, get him out there easily. No, like, this is a tough fight for Moser the Itauma, one which he could possibly even be the underdog in my opinion. The way people are saying that this is easy, I just don't know. I just don't get, and I can't really get my head around it. Moser Itauma's going to wipe him out there in 5 rounds. No, he's not. I will be very surprised. I mean, he deserves all the bloody credit in the world if he can. If Moser Itauma does wipe Dillian Whyte out of there in 5 rounds, then my word, we've got something big on our hands here in Moser Itauma. Someone who probably is going to take over the division. But is it Moser Itauma's time right now at 20 years old? Right now at 20 years old, is it Moser Itauma's time? Is it? I don't know yet. He hasn't been tested enough to be able to see. I mean, look, we stuck him in there with Dempsey McKean, who many people thought would be a test. I knew we'd wipe him out of there. Mike Ballaghan, everyone knew we'd wipe him out of there. Whack, he's about 43 at the time. We knew we'd wipe him out of there. Dillian Whyte's different to these guys. It's a completely different kind of level. But I don't blame them for making this fight. It's a big fight, and I don't blame them for making it because most of the time was wiping out guys like Dempsey McKean, Mike Ballaghan, guys at that kind of level. So it's clear that Itauma's beyond that kind of level, but this is a different level. He's jumped beyond British level. He's jumped beyond a guy like David Adelaide at British level. He's jumped beyond a guy like Fabio Wardley, in my opinion. He's jumped beyond a lot of these guys already. And is that a risk? Yes. Is this his level? We don't know yet. He might be below this level. He might be beyond this level of Dillian Whyte. I don't know, but it makes stuff really interesting in my opinion. Is this really a main event though? I don't know. As I've been said, I feel like something's missing, but it's a good, exciting fight.